Growing sorrel now, are ya?
Now sorrel is a less well known leaf crop. It was quite popular back in the olden days, but we haven't used it as much in recent years, although it is coming back into fashion. Sometimes known as a forager's crop. It has a very, very, very good lemony, tangy taste. It's got an arrow-shaped sort of leaf. That's, oh. So I weren't prepared for that. That's lovely. One of the great things about sorrel is it's very, very vigorous. It's a perennial, and you know it changes salads in a way you would never dreamed of. I actually sometimes sit there and I wonder how come we do not use sorrel that much in our modern cooking. It is absolutely brilliant. And what I've tried to do since I've moved to this property is try to grow it en masse and propagate it en masse, because the amount of leaves you can harvest, be it in the forest garden, because it will tolerate a bit of shade, or raised beds, is phenomenal. I mean, you come out with a bowl and you start picking, you haven't even dented it and you've got like half a bowl of fresh greens. Now a lot of people do say because of the lemony taste it is down to something, an oxalic acid, which basically means you don't want to have too much of it. Now I don't think there's ever been a day where I've eaten more than a quarter of a bowl at a time, and I don't have it every day, but you know, as an addition to salads it is really effective. I actually have it in a Cypriot kebab with parsley and pork, and it is brilliant. The fact that you get that lemony flavour, fantastic. Now a lot of people will say you have to sow it in the early spring. Well, what I like to do with a lot of things, I like to overwinter things. I like to get things in that little warm bit at the end of the year, because what, you know, even though we think winter in the UK especially is, you know, December, I usually think that warm period you get September, October, that's a really, really good early winter, autumn time to get things going, get a little bit of growth. And then things like sorrel, which are actually native, you can sow them and they will just sit there, and then when spring comes you instantly within a few weeks have very, very large, rigid, upright plants. Whereas if you sow in the spring, you've got to wait a good part of that warm season to get things going. So I'm already waiting for an explosion. And you know, the part of being a homestead or trying to grow food self-sufficiently is to try and get as much as you can early on in the season. And that's what sorrel gives me. You know, there's a lot of plants around here that have been nibbled down a little bit by pheasants, etc. And I'm not too bothered about that. The more pheasants that come into the garden, the better, if you know what I mean. So sorrel, a great, great plant. And what I'm going to show you today is the ones that I sowed late last summer. I'm going to show you now what I do, potting them on. So I've got loads of physical, vigorous plants to dot around in the forest garden and the other beds early on in the summer. There's probably about 20 plants in there. What I'm going to do is just dig some up and pot them on for you, show you what I do. Careful not to... Right, so that area is a little bit delicate, so maybe I should have left that bit there. Yeah, there's a little one. Bit potting soil. It's got quite a fibrous taproot. It's very, very similar to dock, very similar, same sort of family, pretty much the same family to be fair. I'll put them on. If you want to, you know, you could grow these on a windowsill as well. They're a good windowsill plant. Try and do a bigger one for you without causing too much damage. That's a big boy, isn't it? That's much better. Nice big root system of his. So there you go, there's the second one. So do me a favour, if you're going to do one thing or grow something different this year, go down to your garden centre or online and do get some sorrel seeds, because you will be blown away at the leaf crop these things give you. Alright? If you like the videos, you know what to do. Like and subscribe.
Oh yeah! Wanna grow some sorrel now, do ya?